No sir, no flights today. We have a situation. Oh no, not again. Are you missing the travel bug? Hopefully we can all travel soon to any destination we please. Maybe we'll be lucky enough heading into 2022. So how about the airline stocks? How are they holding up? Is there a bargain out there? We will look at some of the American airlines, including Delta, United and Hawaiian Airlines, as well as we'll look into a New Zealand airline, as there is a bargain going down under right now to double your money in the next year or two. Airlines have been hit hard the last 18 months, so how are they coping? Will they all survive? If another event happens, let's dive deep into the cockpit and systematically learn how airplanes work as we go through the business class, premium economy to economy, all the way to the tail end of the plane and everywhere in between. Let's fly away. Welcome back, you lovely human beings, to the channel. I'm Financial Guru, and my goal is to give you some knowledge to learn how to invest, which will then leave a legacy for your children and your children's children, and so on forever. Once you have gained the knowledge, you can teach others the world of investing. Smash the like button so we can save the world from financial ruin, and subscribe to the channel to spread the love of finance to the world. Back to the airline. Most of us love to travel the globe, from the bright lights of Las Vegas to the city of Paris in France for the Eiffel Tower, or the Caribbean, Greek islands, Rarotonga, and any other relaxing island that you love all around this lovely world, having a cocktail or mocktail as you lie on the beach. You can also go on a safari through Africa or Sri Lanka. What a lovely place that is. And so many more wonderful adventures you can go to in this lovely world of ours. How do we get there? By airplane, of course. Well, at the moment you can fly to some places, but you have to relax at a hotel as you watch paint dry, or surf the internet, read a book for a few weeks. Not that fascinating at all for most of us, but for a few of us who like our own company, it would be heavenly. Okay, back to the program. Oh, of course, airline stocks. How do they make money? Firstly, they make revenue from ticket sales. They generally make the most money through the business class if all the tickets are sold. Obviously making money through extras like paying for extra bags, food and entertainment on the plane, extra drinks, and some airlines actually provide their own travel insurance, including Hawaiian Airlines. They also do make money from airmail, cargo shipping of animals and goods is another way airlines make money. Airlines also make money from investors buying more shares in the company. This could be as much as 10%, which is generally the most you can buy into a company without getting approval from the board. To gain extra money immediately, they could take the private capital investing and invest back into their company. Often advertising is another way to put your product out there to the world. A prime example for horse lovers out there is Emirates, who used to sponsor the Melbourne Cup to get brand recognition all over the world. And even today, most people still think it is the Emirates Melbourne Cup, even though it hasn't been a sponsor of the Melbourne Cup for many years. Another way airlines make money is on the main route they fly to, especially in demand destinations or places they have most market share. Also in business planning is what the cost at each airport is in fees and taxes. If they can save money there, it improves their chances for net profit. Now we know how airlines make money. Who should we choose? There are so many options to choose from, but I tend to follow the US market more closely. So here are 3 airline stocks you could consider buying. First up, we have Delta Airlines, ticker symbol DAL. What gives them the competitive advantage over the rest of the fleet? Delta's network is anchored by its massive hub at Atlanta, the world's largest airline hub, its twin Midwest hubs at Detroit and Minneapolis, St. Paul, and its mountain hub at Salt Lake City, where Delta recently occupied the first part of a completely new passenger terminal. Each of these 4 metro areas, only one commercial airport, and Delta has more than 50% of the local market revenue share at each airport, which helps drive above average passenger yields across the airline. Folks, 50% of market share, wowzers! That's the type of competitive advantage you need to succeed in the airline business. It's like me telling you that McDonald's has 50% market share, including all their major competitors in Atlanta. It just doesn't happen. So their monopoly on the area helps them choose what price to sell their tickets for, and over time they can increase their prices as there is less competition around to drive prices down. Delta also operates hubs at both New York, LaGuardia, Boston and Kennedy airports, and the latter two, JetBlue is the Delta's largest competitor, while American Airlines is the next largest airline in LaGuardia behind Delta. On the West Coast, Delta entered the Rona era as the second largest airline at both Los Angeles behind American Airlines and Seattle behind Alaska Air Group. Los Angeles is a big hub in the US, so being second fiddle is no disgrace. Delta's financial position at the beginning of the Rona, they were burning more cash than any other American airline, but their saving grace was getting $10 billion in private capital and government funding, stopping them from sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Delta soon realized in their long-term strategic plan was to get new aircraft onto their fleet with better fuel efficiency and less maintenance costs, using their older fleets on shorter domestic travel. This is a very smart play by Delta there. So how do we evaluate this stock? Like all airlines, currently they are all running at a loss. Delta before the Rona, as you can see on the screen, had a steady revenue of around $47 billion at its height, with $4.7 billion in net income. But as you can see, the following year the net loss was minus $12 billion. So that is the scary part for investors, but flights are slowly opening up and most of the cash burn is over. Then they can fly high into the sky again. So what would be a good entry point into Delta Airline? They seem to be a steady stock for investors. To be fair, this stock is fairly valued right now, but a price around $25 is where I would buy it at. And the last time I was at that price was soon after the Rona collapse. This is a premium stock in the airline trade, so you will pay overs for this company. But for me, it is too pricey right now. But for the current climate we're in with airlines, Delta seems to have more long-term growth potential than most of its competitors. We will now look into our second stock. United Airlines, ticker symbol UAL. What gives them competitive advantage over the rest of their fleet? Well, first, they are one of the major markets in Asia, with China being the only the airline right now flying non-stop flights to China. But they have lost some traction with current regulations and restrictions in China, with much less travel going on. They have over 3,200 flights going on each day through the world. United Airlines have a business class travel strategy, with their hubs believed to carry 75% of the business class passengers' revenue in their main areas. In the current climate, business travel was a lot less than it once with the use of video technology like Zoom and Facebook rooms. Whether this will return in time for business class and exceed new heights of 2019, probably a bit unlikely. It is probable, but may take a few years to return. United Airlines also announced a $2 billion cost-cutting endeavour, including using new fleet of aircraft with 7% fuel economy improvement while streamlining services which would lead to job losses. United Airlines has burned $33 million per day? Whoa! In the fourth quarter 2020? Just to cover operational costs? I could have some of that money. But on the positive side, they have slashed their debt by $11 billion through acquisitions of investors. So where does this lead in terms of potentially buying this stock? United Airlines averaged around $80 to $85 per share for the 18 months period before the Rona. So ideally I'd like to buy at $40, expecting it to double within a year or two. In the US market, it is the best valued airline stock currently. You might be saying, what about Spirit Airlines? As they have had a big run up on the stock. But for me the stock is too volatile. If you keep buying the dip, you can make money in the long term with Spirit stock. But I have left it out of my analysis. The last American airline that definitely has a niche market is Hawaiian Airlines. If you want to see Hawaii, you must get on a Hawaiian Airlines plane to get there. It is one of the best flights that I have ever been on of all time. The service is amazing. They are well known in the US for their on-time flight schedule. The best in the US for the last 40 years running. Amazing. Their major competitor is Southwest Airlines that are trying to take over their space. It will be interesting into the future to see if Southwest try to take over Hawaiian Airlines completely. It might be hard to pull off, but you never know. In terms of the stock, it has been on a downward trend for a few years, even before the Rona. So current prices are probably close to fair value, but $40 isn't out of the range of possibilities once we get back to normal. But $30 seems more like a fair price to me. Going forward, you would be looking at around the under $20 range for the stock. Personally, this is under this range for the stock. You have to keep evaluating and looking into their financials, as there is a lot of negativity in these stocks. And the final stock we will look at is from down under, in the land of the long white cloud, New Zealand, and that is Air New Zealand Limited. The stock is available on an ASX in Australia and New Zealand X in New Zealand. Why is this stock attractive? It's currently sitting around the $1.50 price mark at the moment. This stock was up in the $3 range pre-Rona. What has hit this company the most is the government bailout. It has seized dividends for a set period of time. But once that is released, I believe the company will return to a dividend. A lot of New Zealand travels has been seized to the world, but once it opens up again, this company will fly high again. At such affordable prices, you can get in quite a bit of liquidity into this company, but only being a small company compared to American Airlines, I'm not expecting the stock to fly to the moon. This is another option for the people trying to look outside the box. New Zealand is well known for its lovely landscape and friendly nature. Could this be the next airline you invest in? Well, that is a summary of some of the leading American airlines and how they are trending into the future. Remember, I am not your financial advisor. All my videos are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do your research into evaluating stocks before investing. It's been awesome having you here along for the ride on the Financial Guru Airline as I'm about to take off to Hawaii to celebrate life. Take care everybody. Aloha to you all. Take care.